Hi, friends. Dear Burt, 27. Well, lots of questions, so let me get right into it. The picture behind me is a barn. Took that picture in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Came out pretty nice. That was hanging in a museum at one time. Okay, Ron Dack says, Dear Burt, I have a question regarding the healing triangle. Does a person have to be a Silver grad to take the course? No, not at all. Doesn't hurt, but it's fine. Everything that I develop for people who can do it on the very first go, on the get-go. When it is a little too advanced for that, because I'll be talking about things that people might not know about, well, then I might say, well, you need a preface to that, a precursor to it. Okay, Ron asks also, second question, what is really getting my interest, can you tell us what you did when you healed that woman's knee during your class? Actually, all my healings are done in pretty much the same manner, and I doubt if anyone will understand when I say this, but it really doesn't matter what I do. Now, how can I say that? And if I say it doesn't matter what you do, then why do you teach all these things? When you reach a point in your own confidence, in your own attitude, and your own intent, where you really truly understand it, then things come naturally, and this healing energy that we call Qigong or Reiki or whatever other name that you want to give it, or any appellation you want to give to it, it really doesn't matter. All you're doing is using your mind to facilitate a form of energy whose intention, now I'm not talking about my intention, I'm talking about the energy. Of course, energy has an intention also. Energy isn't good or bad, it just is. To what use you put it to makes it good or bad. And so the intention of this particular energy would be to heal. Now, what catalyst is used? In some of the YouTube videos of me doing healings 20, 30 years ago, you might have seen me take a scarf and use that as a catalyst. Any magic to the scarf, I would just run my fingers over the scarf and rub the scarf over the person, in this particular case, over that person's knee. I think I used the scarf for the knee. But it wouldn't have mattered. I could have taken a sheet of paper and energized it. Simply by thinking, it's energized and laying it on the knee. Now, I don't teach this, even though it's simplicity itself, because you have to reach a state of confidence where you just know. And if you don't get a healing, also, it doesn't matter. In other words, you did it. You did your best, no matter what you used as the catalyst was okay. And you generally expect a healing. And that healing can be with a human being, with an animal, a dog or a cat, or a flower. In one instance, I recall, there was a car that had a problem, and that was healed. That one surprised me also. Okay, I'm of a necessity getting into very general areas here, very much in generalities, because the specifics would simply take too long. That's one of the reasons for the healing triangle. I give the neophyte, the amateur, the person who's just starting out, I give them something to do to facilitate that particular energy and to build their own confidence. Okay, what else does Ron say? Well, basically he said what I was just talking about. You also said the main thing needed when doing healing is your intention to heal and keep out the emotions. Does this mean you can do anything with your hands or whatever as long as your desire is there to heal people? Pretty much what I said. It doesn't really matter what you do. Okay. Let's get on. Next we have Grain, who says, what's the best way to gain control over my emotions and thoughts? Well, first of all, definition of an emotion, remember, is any thought that has like or dislike attached to it. The more like, the more emotion. The more dislike, the more emotion. You reach a state where you get too emotional and you can't function, you get overly emotional, sometimes you don't think of the consequences. Now that doesn't answer the question, but if you're feeling bad when your emotions are out of control, examine your thoughts. Whenever you're feeling bad, if you examine your thoughts at the time, you'll find they're negative thoughts. Well, there's your answer. Turn them around. Start thinking positive thoughts. Well, wait a minute. How can I do that? Daydream. Everybody has a daydreaming mechanism. Daydreaming can be so important in your life if you use it correctly. Well, how do I daydream? I don't know. I don't know what it is that you like. Let's say you enjoy baseball. You never thought of yourself as a baseball player. Well, think of yourself as a baseball player. You're the world's greatest baseball player. And whack one over the fence. Woman, man, it doesn't really matter. It's a daydream. You can be anything you want. Daydream, and you'll find that your negative thoughts turning into positive thoughts very quickly. Okay, that's one way to keep emotions under control. I want to rush through these, and I really shouldn't. So let me take my time here. Lou says, octaves, I can't talk about octaves right now. It's too much time. One day I'll do something on octaves, but not right now. Some weeks ago you said you would talk about love for God. Well, that too, I don't want to go too quickly on that, but let me give you a hint. The only true love, the only really accurate love, you might say, is an unqualified love. Now, this is the kind of love that a parent should have for a child. I love you, period. Not I love you when, not I love you if, not I love you but, not I love you and qualify it with a dozen different things. I love you, period. In other words, you don't control my love. I'm talking to a child. You don't control it. You can't make me love you anymore. You can't make me love you any less. Now, I might not like the things that you do, and I might correct you. However, it doesn't affect my love. My love is there no matter what. It's not qualified. Now, I'm talking about children. I'm supposed to talk about God. Well, it's the same thing with God. God is a positive viewpoint. If you understand that, then you cannot see God under any other aspects except positive to the 100 degree of the scale. Now, I realize that's a very general thing, but that love must be unqualified, period. Okay, let's get on. That's a subject I could do a whole weekend on. And actually, every time I do something here, we're doing in minutes what should take hours. And Laura says, hi, Burt. This is going to be the last one, I believe. Thanks again for your, et cetera, et cetera. Many people say that events in your life are all about timing. Do you ever agree with this? Well, absolutely. Being in the right time at the right at the right place is very, very important. But that's not the problem. I mean, we know about timing. We know about cycles because that's one of the 7 principles. The principle of rhythm. Everything is cyclical, so we're under timing all the time. The question should be, you always have to ask the right question to get the right answer. How can I control timing? How can I be in the right place at the right time? Now, I don't want to titillate you, but I may have to do another one because we're coming to the end of this. I'll get into timing in the next video just under this one.